Welcome back for another exciting mod review with Mr. Mod. Today we've got some awesome things on the list. Everything from new map packs, Hawaiian shirts, witch hats. We've got World War II guns. We've got crossbows. We've got explosives. We've got it all. New mechanics. You name it. Stick with us. There's a lot to go through, but we're going to get through it quick. Thanks for joining. Up first we have a collection of several different mods. Totally's Firearms pack. We have Totally's Eastern Bloc, Totally's Allied World War II, and we have Totally's Axis World War II. We also have Totally's American Firearms. So that's 4 different packages, all made by the same mod creator. This includes a ton of historical firearms of all different shapes and sizes. I've laid them all out here, as you can see. There's a lot of variety you get here. Everything from the Cold War to World War II. I mean, pretty much like the most fan favorite weapons, I think, for any FPS game. I know I've seen several here in some of my favorite Battlefield games. For instance, we have the Fedorov Automat from Battlefield 1. Yeah, it didn't really get used like at all really in the war, but still pretty cool. Weirdly enough, it's in the Axis pack, but we also have the Carcano, which is another gun that I love from World War II. And we have some more fan favorites, the Browning Automatic, the Lee Enfield, the Thompson, M1 Carbine. We have the Luger MG34, Suomi. If you like a gun and it's a historical firearm, it's probably in this pack. Chances are. I also had a very interesting glitch with the M1 Garand. As you can see here, it is very chonky. I don't know what did this. I'm pretty sure it was my fault, not the mods. I'm running about 100 plus mods, so it's definitely my fault. Up next we have the rack fix for Remastered Kitsune's Crossbow mod. This is just fixing a mod that already exists, the Remastered Kitsune's Crossbow mod. It had like a racking issue, would rack 2 bolts instead of 1, but I really like this one compared to the other simple crossbows variant because this has all the crossbows from the original included. That means you have the handmade metal, handmade wooden, scout crossbow, and you have the little hand crossbow. So I like to have all 4 options available. If you prefer just to have, 2 options, you can do simple crossbow instead. But I picked this, it has all of them, and it works great. I'm also not sure if these have like ricochet effect, or if that's from a different mod maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, it looks like it ricocheted, which is pretty cool. Up next we have CJ Melee Weapons Lore-Friendly Vanilla Expansion. This one is really awesome. It updates all of the models for pretty much every melee and kind of like tool item in the game. The models look really nice, especially the spiked baseball bat. I'm a big fan of how they updated that. The other one looked so cartoony. This one looks kind of more, a little grittier, more realistic. They also made a really nice axe, the wood axe and the fire axe, as well as the shovel, sledgehammers. Really all of them look so much better now. I'm a big fan of this one. You gotta try this mod out. It just adds a lot of flavor to the game. And look at that hammer, it looks so good. Up next we have a couple mods to show off. We have Goth Glasses, Goth Witch Hat, Hello Kitty backpacks, and the MF Doom mask. All of these clearly go together, right? I mean, who wouldn't rock all of these at the same time? I know Mr. Mod would. Also, the Hello Kitty backpack is really nice if you ever want to do a Kondo Tatsumi playthrough from the World War Z book by Max Brooks. Definitely recommend. Up next is a new favorite mod of mine, TB's Hawaiian Shirts pack. If you've been eyeing the shirt Mr. Mod's been wearing, the Mario Sunshine Star Hawaii shirt, this is where it came from. As well as many of these Hawaii shirts you see here displayed on the mannequins. I love this mod, there's a ton of variety, you've got to check this one out. And keeping with the clothing theme, our next 2 mods add several different military outfits from all different eras and countries. These mods are Fogg's Totally Legit Surplus and Shark's Ready Prep Surplus. Both of these mods are great. They work fine together. There might be a little bit of redundancy, but if anything, you have more options that way. So I like it a lot. I definitely recommend trying it out if you're trying to do any kind of roleplay as a veteran, or perhaps you just like the look of some old camo. Either way, really nice. It adds tons of gear, and it looks pretty damn good too. And if you still aren't fatigued, you can add Shark and Peach's military uniform improvements for even more military clothing options. These mods all work great. Up next we have a very unique mod, Advanced Trajectories Realistic Overhaul. This is a complete overhaul of the mod Advanced Trajectory that you might have already seen, and this makes it kind of a mix of PZ's old RPG mechanics and your own skill, being your skill level in shooting and aiming, as well as whether you're crouching and some other environmental factors. So the main things added here are the need for the character to focus before you take your shots, so you need to time your shots a bit better and you need to aim more, otherwise it's not going to be as accurate. Also, this makes your aiming better when you're crouching or standing still, because whenever you're moving, it's going to be a wider crosshair and it's not going to be as accurate. It's really nice because the crosshair changes in size to let you see how accurate, sort of visualization of how accurate your shot will be. And once, it's all the way out, it's going to be not accurate compared to all the way in. Additionally, the higher your level, the higher your accuracy and your critical chance. So level 0 to 2, you're going to be really, really bad. But then level 8, you're not even going to have a focus timer anymore. You're just going to be able to do headshots easily. So if you have any negative moodles, it'll also affect it. What's really nice about this mod is being able to aim directly at, where you want on the zombie, and be able to aim at a specific zombie. You couldn't really do that as easily before with the kind of selection system for the aiming in vanilla Zomboid. I think this works really great with True Crouch and True Crawl. They both are supported by the mod, and I use True Crouch a lot, so I had to do it. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video for some fun with landmines. Lots of fun with landmines. This next mod on the list is short and sweet, just like Mr. Mod's modeling career. 3D bandoliers. You like bandoliers? So do I. You like 3D things? Well, so do I. This combines it for us. Happy days, right? Now the bandoliers look way better, and not so flat and boring. The next mod on our list is a doozy. Blood sugar. That's right, this adds diabetes type 1 and 2 to the game. That's right, diabetes in the apocalypse. You thought this game was hard before? Imagine needing to manage your blood sugar and find insulin. At least it's not going to cost an arm and a leg, but you may have to take off an arm and a leg of a zombie to get to them. Either way, it's worthwhile, and health insurance has never been cheaper. So you can actively manage your blood sugar now, but it's going to take some work with your diet, or you're going to need to use the insulin, which can be injected using a syringe. You can also use test strips for your glucose monitor and a reusable Lancet so you can test your glucose levels, and you want to do that so you know where you're at before you waste your insulin. Now, I'm not sure why everywhere Mr. Mod goes it becomes intensely foggy and very eerie, but maybe he's a ghost. Who knows? Walking this mortal plane forced to review mods for all time. Either way, he's here and he has some more mods to show you. Albuterol Inhaler is the next one. If you have asthma, you might be familiar with this. It is just a normal inhaler. You prime it and then you take the dose. It'll increase your endurance, so if you're exhausted from running or sprinting, it'll get rid of that immediately. It's really nice for asthmatic players because you can kind of do an RPG kind of element there, but otherwise it kind of is OP. Anything that can make you immediately not exhausted anymore is OP, in my opinion. So only use it carefully and, strategically for asthma purposes if you want to get the most out of it. Otherwise, if you just want to have fun with it, do your thing and run across all Kentucky nonstop, huffing on your inhaler. Longtime viewers of my mod showcases will recognize another monkey start scenario when they see one. This is Monkey's Start Scenario Dodge Caravan Nomad. I really like this. The Dodge Caravan looks great. There's no interior through RV interiors yet. I don't know if we'll ever get one. It probably shouldn't. It's kind of small, but it'd be cool if maybe we could put a tent on top one day. Either way, I really, really love it. It looks great with all the armor, the gas cans on top. Really pretty model. Animated trunk and doors, windows, all that jazz. It's all there. Really nice. Another great mod. And this one just feels right for camping. I don't know about you guys, but this kind of car makes me feel like cracking open a cold one with the boys. And by boys, I mean plushies. And nothing goes with camping quite like a nice, juicy, fresh grilled hamburger. Well, unless you're vegan, of course. Then that would probably make you depressed. Any meat or animal, in fact. Especially when you got the trait. Looks like there's no getting out of this one, Mr. Mod. So this mod adds the vegetarian and vegan traits to the game. They give a mood debuff whenever you eat the food that they don't like. Pretty fun. I wish it, didn't let you do it though, but oh well. You can always just limit your player on your own. And the next mod on the list is Barricaded Start. This is an interesting mod here. You can either have it default for all players, regardless of if they take the trait or not, or you can have it standalone trait style. I do standalone trait, I like that way better, but it's up to you, to each their own. What this mod does is, your character, he's wise, he's a little bit privy to the danger afoot. He barricaded early, he didn't believe the BS, he didn't believe the containment BS, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna barricade, I'm gonna board myself in, like a shut-in, and that's safer. So he does that. Lo and behold, here he is barricaded. Every window, every door on your starting home will be barricaded. You will spawn with a little backpack full of these notebooks, which I thought was really cool. It'll show what food you have in the house. It'll have a little character diary, which is really, really nice. And you also have a damaged hammer, because you need a hammer in order to remove the barricade in order to get out. Otherwise, you have to wait for zombies to bust you out. I really like this mod. I think it's cool. It has a nice RP touch, if you wanted to do an early days scenario where your guy was the only one smart enough to stay inside or to board up. That would make sense. It's also really nice because if you're trying to do maybe like a sprinter's playthrough or something, and maybe you keep getting just destroyed immediately, this kind of gives you a little bit of protection at least. Granted, they're still going to find you probably and swarm your house, but you'll at least have a little bit of time to figure things out. Now the only caveat is there's only one way out, essentially. Unless you could help from zombies, every exterior window is boarded on the outside also. So only the front door will be unboarded on the outside. So you can only get out through the front door then. So good luck with that. And that brings us to the next mod on our list, one which I've wanted to discuss for quite a while, Copper State, Arizona. This is a really, really good map pack here. It brings Arizona to life using the desert tiles, and just everything about it feels so much different than the base game. I'm really, really excited to see where this map pack goes. It's only got like 2, I believe, cities right now. They're more towns, but they're kind of like Moldra, or not as big as West Point, but I would say more Rosewood sized. Between Rosewood and Moldra in size, probably. Farming communities, yada yada. One's more green than the other, one's less green. You also have some interesting starts. One, you can start in a prison cell. You'll be locked in. I have not tried that one. It sounds fun. I'm hoping to maybe do a series on this map sometime using the prison start. We'll see how that goes. But I want to take a moment to shout out the AMC Javelin mod, which is the vehicle we're driving right now. It's really nice, performs well, it looks great. The inside seating got this cool pattern to it. It looks so retro, and I mean, I would love it in my car. I would love this as my car. It's pretty awesome, and if you're going to be styling around in the Zomboid apocalypse, you may as well do it in a Javelin. So here you see we're back at the prison in Copper State, Arizona. It looks similar a bit to the Rosewood prison, for instance the guard shack tower, but other than that it feels pretty unique. Just the desert vibe alone makes it feel completely different. And it's pretty large in size, pretty high population, looks like it'll be a bitch to clear, and even worse to start in. And this gives us a great chance to showcase our next mod, Goddamn Bathroom Zombies. Why is it named that? Well, it's pretty fitting. If you've been playing this game at all, you might be familiar with a little bit of the meme of the Zomboid bathroom zombies. Well, this takes that up a bit. Now every tile in a bathroom has a 50% chance to spawn zombies on it. So as soon as the tiles load in, they're gonna spawn. Yeah, be careful. And one more thing I want to shout out about Copper State, Arizona map before we go is all these little cool story things like here with this graffiti and everything. I'm not gonna trust Jim, that's for sure. Alright, I lied. One more thing about Copper State that is just freaking awesome. If you watched Fear the Walking Dead, you may be familiar with this, but here we have an airplane in the middle of the desert. Pretty awesome start. You're gonna really want to prioritize using all the items and equipment, anything you can salvage out of this plane, because you're in the middle of nowhere, in the desert. Not a lot of water, not a lot of resources, practically no wood. So I hope you have a saw on you. But if you do find yourself out in the wilderness without the equipment that you might have needed, such as nails, don't fret, because this next mod has got you covered. Thanks to the innovative mod Wooden Dowels, you can go old school with it and say screw nails, we're going all wood on this baby. That's right, using tree branches and a knife, screwdriver, saw, and a couple other items, you are able to craft wooden dowels, 2 per tree branch, in order to take the place of nails. There's going to be a whole separate crafting menu for carpentry to use, with dowels versus with the traditional nail. And I think this is an awesome mod. If you want to be like an outdoorsman who just never goes into town, you're never going to find nails. You can't even build yourself a cabin. That's sad. Now you can actually do it, nature only. Next up, we have the aptly named Improved Foraging Tooltip. And boy, is it an improvement. This gives you the live stat readout for everything affecting your foraging chance. This is really nice because it kind of gave me some insight onto what all does and doesn't affect things. And I don't know why this isn't vanilla. I guess like it would be a lot of information to have, but some of it seems nice to have. I would like to know, what my chances are, so I'm not just wasting my time, but to each their own. I like this mod. I'm gonna keep it. Next up, we have the UH60 Helicopter for single player and multiplayer. This helicopter works really nice. It is a little glitchy though, but I think the fun factor makes up for it. You can use the QE to turn, and you can use WASD to kind of steer the angle you're facing. For the directional controls, you can use the arrow keys. This is a really fun vehicle to use. Like I said, it does glitch, like you can see through buildings. Sometimes you can fly through them, always, which is a shame, but I know the mod developer said he's working on it, and I'm sure it's not the easiest to fix either, so give it some time. In the meantime, it works. You can carry 4 passengers. Pretty damn awesome. And it flies. You can control how high it goes. What's not to love? It also seems like it'd be perfect for like some role-playing scenarios, like, Walking Dead, or trying to escape, through a helicopter to get out of Louisville. Either way, this mod is one you gotta check out. It's also just nice for travel in general. And I also want to talk about Lake Cumberland. This is an awesome map pack. It is quite large, as you can see here, and it's very high population density, so this is kind of a better place for late game, maybe late game multiplayer specifically, or single player if you're just really up for a challenge and you want to wade through a heck ton of Zeds. There's certainly a lot here, and the lake itself is really beautifully laid out. It seems like it'd be perfect for using with the Aquastar yacht pack. And while Mr. Mod sets these up, let me give you a word of warning about landmines. They aren't activated only by zombies. Who would have thought it? I would never have guessed in a million years, but yes, any pressure on the pressure plate will set these landmines off, and these bad boys are gonna go. They're just itching for it, so you better watch your footing. Cause I sure didn't. Granted, it could have ended up a lot worse. And I promised you all if you stuck to the end, you'd get some fun with landmines, and here we are to deliver. As you see, we are spawning in a ludicrous number of zombies all around us, specifically as far away from me as I can place them. The reason for that is we're going to test out one more mod here, increase firearm sound range. A lot of these, make the game harder. I think that's a good thing. A lot of them make the game easier. That's a good thing too for some people. But for those of us who want it to be a lot harder, firearm sound range is a big thing that you can tweak. This mod gives you plus 25, plus 50, and plus 75 to the sound range. Right now I'm using plus 75. This means every zombie basically nearby is going to hear this thing. Just from 1 shot, 2 shots, that's all it takes. So we're going to put it to the test and let them run to the landmines and...
I'm in danger!
Enjoy the show. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please comment below what your favorite mod was or what mod you want to see next. I would love to hear your thoughts. Have a good one, everybody. Gecko out.